Hey there friends, thank you for joining with me today. My name is Jonathan. I'm an LPC working here at a outpatient clinic facility. This is the first video that I'm making. We're just going to start throwing some ideas out there. Whenever I have some time between my sessions or when people cancel, I'm gonna try and post some of these things online on YouTube. I would like to develop a community where we can talk about mental health and maybe be able to help you with some of the things that you've been struggling with, maybe with helping you with coping skills or whatever. But in this video, being the first video, I really want to talk about why very intelligent people tend to struggle with anxiety and overthinking things. First, let's define what anxiety really is. Anxiety is, in its essence, thinking too much about the future. And not only thinking too much about the future, but thinking too much about the future without having a plan. The problem with people who are very intelligent, they tend to overthink things quite a bit. They analyze everything. They analyze their conversations that they have with their friends, their family. They analyze what their future outcomes might look like. They try to analyze mistakes and things that have happened in their past and try to relate them to how this is going to be different in their future. And so all of these mental processes can oftentimes become very frustrating and very confusing, and most of all become emotionally exhausting. We only have a limited amount of, let's say, mental fuel for each day. And what happens is, as we begin to overthink these things and as we begin to analyze these future scenarios, this is really the job of the prefrontal cortex, and this is executive functioning skills at its finest. And so as the day wears on, we worry and we think about things, and we lose that capacity. And then let's say, for example, you have a night of sleeplessness. You don't sleep well. You get into a fight with your boyfriend or girlfriend, or your boss says something at work that causes you to have some sort of doubt about, maybe, am I doing the right kind of job? Am I doing a good enough job? Am I going to get fired? Maybe you don't have enough money to pay your bills. All kinds of things can happen. And then this just sets us over the edge, right? We begin very anxious. And this sets off this cascade of chemicals that are released into our bloodstream. These are better known as toxic stress. It's cortisol and adrenaline. It's fight or flight. It's your sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system has become very activated. And so this is a top-down type of anxiety. We're thinking ourselves to death. We're thinking of all different things. Intelligent people are naturally able to detect patterns and potential threats, oftentimes quite faster than other people, because they're very attuned to what's going on. Once these chemicals, once this stress hormones get released into the bloodstream, it causes a lot of hypervigilance. And this hypervigilance makes us focus. When these adrenaline and cortisol, when these are released into the bloodstream, they make the body go into survival mode. What it really does is it shuts down the prefrontal cortex. This is the part that we're using to reason all this stuff out. So it causes you to have an inability to relax. It causes you to have trouble sleeping. It causes you to become irritable or anxious or angry. And when we're in this hypervigilant mode, we're looking for things that may be dangerous. We become compulsive. Sometimes so much so that it can cause us to have compulsive disorders or disorders that are anxiety provoking. Next, we're going to move on to how trauma affects overthinking. Not only does this happen with intelligent people, but also people who have trauma. People who have trauma, the brain has been programmed, let's say, to detect danger, to detect threat. And the unfortunate truth about this is that a lot of times we grow up in an environment where we don't know that it's been traumatic. And this trauma has caused us to be stuck in this toxic stress, which completely rewires the brain and how the amygdala and the hippocampus work together in forming and recalling new memories, emotions, and threat detection. Another thing to look at in this situation is that any individual who has some form of ADHD. Trauma and ADHD are very similar. If you look at it in a clinical setting, it looks almost the same. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen people be misdiagnosed with ADHD when they really have untreated complex PTSD from childhood. And we're not talking about just the PTSD where you was in an accident or something like that, but we're talking about complex PTSD. This has been they've had it their whole life. And what it does is the trauma, again, shuts down the prefrontal cortex. A very good book that you could read for more information on this is The Body Keeps the Score. If you're interested in it, I'll put it in the comment section below for you to be able to check it out. But ADHD is not just an attention regulation problem, it's an executive functioning problem. Kids with ADHD have very severe problems or issues with controlling their behaviors because of the executive functioning that they have. And so this, again, trauma is going to look exactly the same way. Next, we're going to go on to people who have perfectionism or this failure to be fear of failure. A lot of people have been told throughout their life that things have to be perfect. They have to be this way. They have to be that way. And so they have become perfectionists. Perfectionists can also be described as people who may put off things because they know they can't get it perfect. Let me give you an example from me. I'm starting this YouTube channel, and I've just come up with this idea that I'm just going to post. I'm just going to make content. I'm going to post what I want to talk about, and then we'll let the chips fall where they may. Because if I sit and get this thing perfect, then I'm going to have a lot of anxiety. And I'm really just doing this to try and bring awareness to mental health and some of the insights I have from a clinical perspective. The mindset of these type of people could be that they're just going to avoid the pain completely. So we're just not going to do it. I can't do it perfect, so we're just going to avoid it at all. So let's talk about this in another aspect. Does overthinking really work? How many times have you thought about a situation? Let's say you've got a job interview coming up, and you thought about all the ways you're going to talk to that person that was doing the interview and how you were going to impress them with this or that or another, and then you get in there and everything completely changes. Got you caught completely off guard, and the interview may have went bad. Or you've got somebody that you want to talk to, maybe it's a girl or somebody that or a guy that you've been wanting to approach and talk to, and you think of the words that you're going to say, but then when you get there, it's overwhelming, and the anxiety takes control, and it maybe takes hold of your speech. You can't talk, get sweaty. These are all symptoms of overthinking and how overthinking doesn't work. Am I saying that it's not good to be able to plan for your future? No, that's not what I'm saying. I think you should be able to. But here's what we're gonna talk about. If we're gonna talk about having anxiety, then let's talk about this. My first definition from the front was that anxiety is thinking too much about the future without a plan. So what are we going to do? We're going to start making a plan. The goal is not to stop thinking deeply, right? The goal is to learn how to live without your own mind becoming a prison that you can't get out of. And how do you do that? It's teaching the nervous system, number one, that you're safe. How do you do that? Deep breathing helps. Taking a shower helps. Eating 3 meals a day. Exercising well, properly. Getting good night's sleep. Going to the doctor regularly for checkups to make sure that things are going well with your physical self. And then to just sit down and start working through some of these things that you've been avoiding. Avoiding the situation only strengthens the anxiety. Only strengthens the anxiety. So today, if you've been having some issues with anxiety and you found this video useful, I would appreciate it if you'd not kindly hit the like and subscribe button down below. This is a brand new channel. We're just going to see where this thing goes. Hopefully I can start making some more in-depth videos about mental health concerns and things that are going on. But I'd really appreciate that like and subscribe. And also, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure you leave those in the comment section below, so that we can make. I will reach out, and I will be happy to have an open dialogue with you about some of those things, just so you can, so we can talk about them, and hopefully get some of those things resolved in your life. Again, I appreciate it, and if you'd kindly leave a like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next time.